Hello, welcome to Donkey Brains Vlog episode 5. My name is Courtney. If you don't already know who I am, be sure to check out Donkey Brains Vlog episode 1 for some background information on me. Today in this vlog we're going to talk about 5 different things. The first thing is going to be MTTs from last month. The second thing is spin and goes from last month. I'm going to talk about both how MTTs and spin and goes went. The third topic is a question I get asked all the time. People ask, are you still playing spin and goes? Are you going to keep playing spin and goes? So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Topic number 4, stream musings. So I'm going to talk a little bit in general about streaming on Twitch. I'll talk about how it's going, and I'll also maybe give a tip or two to anyone that is interested in possibly streaming in the future. And last but not least, we will talk about this month coming up, March, what's going to happen, what am I going to play, what are my plans. Alright, so MTTs. February was my first really successful month playing MTTs since I started playing them last December. Just an idea about kind of the buy-ins that I'm playing. I'm playing buy-ins from, most of them are between $11 and $109. So between $11 and $109. My average buy-in right now after selling action is about $28, to give you an idea of kind of my average buy-in right now. I had 2 really good scores last month. The first one was second in the $109 Bounty Builder, and the second was second place in the Big 109. It's kind of ironic that I'm a heads-up player and that I did not win either heads-up. But that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. You unfortunately don't always win heads-up matches, and last month I lost both of my heads-up matches. In particular, I had the chip lead going into the Big 109 heads-up, and my opponent actually asked me if I wanted to make a deal. I turned down his offer, and then he proceeded to come back and beat me. Sometimes I feel really bad about that, but then I talk to the people in my life that are really good at poker and have good poker brains, and they tell me that I made the right decision, that I definitely should not have made a deal, and that I should stop being so sad about it. So I'm trying to slowly not let that bother me anymore. I actually posted some highlights on both of those second place finishes, by the way, so be sure to just click around on the channel and find those MTT highlights. I do have an MTT Final Table playlist if you haven't already watched them here on YouTube. So yeah, after going negative for the month in both December and January, I finished with a significant profit in February. So I'm actually overall up in MTT since starting out, and I'm really happy with my progress. Of course, there's still a ton to learn. I have a lot to learn still. I've been working on a lot of push-fold ranges and calling ranges for sure. I continue to work on my bounty calling ranges, so that's something that I think I can really get an advantage in over the rest of the field, is if I really work on my bounty calling ranges. So I've been doing that, and I've also of course been working on my just my skills in multi-way pots post-flop. Since I'm a heads-up player, I don't have as much experience with playing in multi-way pots, so that's just something that I work on really a regular basis when I'm studying poker. Okay, so let's talk about spin and goes now. Here is my graph from last month, from February, and as you can see, it is not a pretty graph. So I don't know, that's kind of becoming a trend in these vlogs, but yeah, this graph is not pretty at all. I played only 329 games. They were almost all at 60s. My net chip EV for the month was minus 143. That is equivalent to negative 0.43 chips per game. That's really bad. It is equivalent to a negative 5% ROI. Obviously, it was a really bad month. I ran really terribly. I was talking to a friend, and he said that I probably also tilted this month. I mean, I definitely wouldn't rule that out, that there's a little bit of tilt involved too. I do get pretty tilted when I play spin and goes. So yeah, overall, it's quite disappointing. Last month when I recorded my vlog, my overall spin and go ROI was around 0.5% according to Spinlizer. And after this past month, it actually decreased to 0%, which is crazy considering how few games I played. So my overall sample is 4,800 spin and goes, and in a 300 game sample, my ROI went from 0.4, so positive 0.4%, to actually 0%. That's what Spinlizer is saying now, that overall I have a 0% ROI. So it's pretty crazy that the ROI changed so much in just 300 games. And it really does show the variance in spin and goes. One thing to keep in mind as well is that last month almost 40% of my games had 0 regs in them. Which means that recreational players pretty much, they wrecked me all month. I got it in bad against recreational players the entire month, and regs alike. So I just got it in bad against everyone. No matter what I did, I couldn't win. And I think this is an appropriate time for #FeelsBadMan. So, am I going to keep playing spins? I mean, it's a valid question, right? I've played almost 5,000 games. My results are a 0% ROI. These are not results that I'm exactly proud of. I feel like a broken record saying this, but I really do think that I've run really poorly. But I think it's also clear that I have a lot to work on when it comes to spin and goes, and that my edge isn't that big. So I guess I have to decide whether it's worth it. Do I keep playing them? One thing that I have learned is that I tilt so badly when I play spins. I mean, it's at the point where now when I stream spin and goes, if I lose like 3 in a row, I feel very frustrated. When losing 10 in a row spin and goes is completely standard, the fact that I get so tilted when I just lose a couple is really concerning. I'm just at this point so used to running bad in spin and goes that I tend to flip out at even the slightest thing, which is really a really bad place to be. I really have worked on my game a lot since I started playing spin and goes last August, so I have to admit that it's really frustrating not seeing any progress. My heads up game, I'm confident. I've been confident in that for a while. I played heads up for the last 3 years. And I don't know, is it possible that my 3-handed game is just that bad? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Like, when you lose so much and your results just aren't there, sometimes you start to lose confidence. I did give a number of hand histories to a winning spin and go player. He looked at my hand histories and told me that he only noticed a couple things that he would have done differently. So I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I've done everything that I can. I feel like I've studied. I've gotten coaching. I've had someone look at my hand histories. At this point, it's just got to play games, I guess, to ride out the variance. My sample size is definitely quite small. That is a fact. So it could still be variance. But like I said, I think it's clear that my edge isn't exactly huge. So variance is really going to affect me a lot more than it would a really good spin and go player. I guess it all comes down to kind of my goals and why I'm playing spin and goes. Am I playing them because I think my hourly is higher than, say, other games? I mean, at this point, since I don't really know what my ROI is, it's really hard to say whether my hourly is better. I am getting better at MTTs, so my hourly is obviously getting better there as time goes on, as I keep playing them. So if it's about making money, I don't really know. It's hard to say. I have said that I like playing spin and goes because I like the fact that I can play shorter sessions. So when you play MTTs, you're usually looking at a 6 to 10 hour session because that's just the nature of MTTs. They can take a really long time. Spin and goes, you can play like a 1 or 2 hour session if you so desire. I said that I would keep playing spin and goes because I'd be able to fill in the gaps between my MTTs, but I actually haven't had to do that. I haven't really had times where I finish all my MTTs in like 4 hours and then I think, well, my session hasn't been long enough, so let's load up some spin and goes. I usually schedule my MTTs so that I have a pretty long session no matter what, and if I do end up busting everything early, it's not too early to stop playing. So I don't think filling in the gaps is really necessary for spin and goes. And then, so I guess the other thing to consider is just overall enjoyment and what I want to play, right? I mean, I have to admit, I'm not really having fun playing spins these days. MTTs are a lot more enjoyable. And is that because I'm running better in MTTs? Perhaps. I ran really hot this past month playing MTTs, so obviously it makes me lean towards wanting to play tournaments as opposed to wanting to play spin and goes. So, I don't know. Sometimes, is it because I'm running better, or is it because I actually enjoy the game more? It's kind of hard for me to say. I do love heads up, so that it would make some sense that I'd want to keep playing spin and goes, but it's hard to want to keep playing when you're running bad, so I don't know. I guess there's a couple options. Like, I could just do whatever I feel like in the near future. So just if I feel like playing MTTs, I'll play MTTs. If I feel like playing spin and goes, I'll play spin and goes, and we'll just see where we're at when March is over and reevaluate. I could quit spin and goes. I could definitely do that. I could move down in spin and goes. I mean, I don't know. There's just a bunch of options. I'm not really sure. I think I'm going to go with the first option and just do what I want in March. So probably if I feel like playing MTTs, if I feel like playing tournaments, I'll just do that. And if I don't know, if I feel like playing spin and goes one day, I'll fire them up and see how I feel. That whatever the case, we'll reevaluate and we'll talk about this again in Donkey Brains Vlog episode 6. So yeah, I guess just stay tuned. Stay tuned for that to see what ends up happening. Okay, well, let's talk about a more fun topic. Let's talk about streaming. So a lot of the people that are watching this right now are viewers of my Twitch stream. I want to thank you guys for making my stream just what it is today. There was a lot of hype this past month thanks to my 2 big final tables, and I have to say, it was so very fun. If you don't already watch me on Twitch, the channel is twitch.tv/courtiebee. I'll leave a link below so that you can click it and follow me if you don't already do so. So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to you guys. It's been so fun. The channel's grown a lot this past month. We have tons of new viewers and subs. It's just really great. And obviously you can see behind me that the swarm wall has gotten huge. It's gotten really big. So that's because of you guys. Thank you so much. I thought I would just talk a little bit about streaming and getting started with streaming. Sometimes people ask me, well, how do you do it? How do you build a channel? What's your biggest tip? What do you recommend? So I guess I'll go over the basics first of what I use to stream. I use a Blue Yeti for my mic. For my webcam, it is a Logitech. What is it? It's I don't know, I can't remember. A C920 or something? I don't exactly know. It's the webcam that everyone uses. If there's anyone here watching that actually wants me to check for sure and let you know what webcam I'm using, you can post in my forum thread. I'll leave a link to that down below. Just click on the forum thread and go ahead and say, "Hey, Courtney, I watched your vlog and I actually want to know what camera you're using," and I'll reply to you and I'll check and I'll let you know. And then for my streaming software, I use XSplit. People ask me that all the time, what streaming software I'm using. You can use OBS, though. I've heard some really good things about OBS, and OBS is totally free. So if you're streaming and you're trying to choose between softwares, you can choose OBS for sure. Probably my biggest tip for building a stream is to be consistent. Consistency is the most important thing about streaming. I'll tell you actually kind of a story about consistency. So when I first started, I started streaming like really full time in August of last year. That's when I quit Heads Up Sit and Goes and I dedicated myself to the Twitch stream. And from August until November, I streamed 4 or 5 days a week, every week between that time period. And then in November, I actually went away for a little bit over a week for Thanksgiving, and I didn't stream during that time. I think that I got set back a ton by going away for that week. It's actually quite crazy. So I went away for a week, and then when I came back, I had way fewer viewers than before. I lost almost, probably not quite a third of my subs, but at least 25% of my subs. And I was like, wow, this is really quite crazy. I can't believe I got so hurt by going away for a week. So, but do keep in mind that I went away for a week, a little over a week, but I took 2 weeks off my stream. So I needed a little bit of time before I went away and a little bit of time to recuperate after I came back. So in total, it was almost 2 weeks away from my stream, and I lost a lot of ground. I've grown a lot since December, and now that's 3 straight months that I've streamed at least 5 days a week, every single week since the start of December. So, and that's really helped grow my channel. So that's my biggest tip. Just be consistent. Make sure you post a schedule. Make sure you stick to it, and try not to take time off. It's really hard to not take time off. I mean, you do get tired, you do get burnt out, especially if you have a job and friends and family. But it's just so important. Consistency is so important. What's in store for Courtney in March? A lot of the same as February, to be completely honest. I'm planning on playing a lot of MTTs, about the same buy-ins. The one thing that I'm going to try to change is I'm going to try to make my stream earlier. I keep saying I'm going to do this. It's just such a slow process. I have to admit that to even get to the point where I am now, starting at 10:30 a.m. PST, has been quite an accomplishment for me. So I'm just, I gotta slowly but surely start a little bit earlier rather, and hopefully by the end of the month, I'll be starting an hour earlier than I'm starting now. That's what I'm hoping. We'll see if I can do that in the span of a month. Well, I'll report back to you during episode 6 and let you know whether it actually happened. There's just so many more tournaments that I can late register for, even if I start 30 minutes earlier. And that means more red felt type early. Red felt, of course, means being in the money. On my stream, we usually turn the poker tables to red felt so that people know that we're in the money. So if I stream earlier, there's better chances for that to happen. So I'm going to try my hardest. It just means me going to bed earlier and waking up earlier, of course. So that's my main goal for March. As for my MTT schedule, like I said, it's going to be the same buy-ins. I'm going to be playing them mostly the same tournaments. I'm also going to be adding the big 162 to my schedule, though, this month. I didn't play it last month, but I think that I've gotten a lot better playing poker, playing MTTs these past few months, and I think I'll be fine in the big 162 field. I mean, quite a few people play that, hundreds and hundreds of people, so I think that it will be a good tournament to add to my schedule. Alright, well, that's it for Donkey Brains Vlog episode 5. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, can you please make sure you click that thumbs up button, and also make sure you're subscribed to the channel here on YouTube. Thank you so much. If you're interested in getting a trial to Poker Tracker 4, which is the program that I use to make the spinning go graph that you saw earlier, I'll leave a link down below. You can click it and get a free trial, and if you do end up buying from that link, it does support me, so thank you so much in advance if you plan on doing that. If you'd ever like to watch me play poker live, you can go to twitch.tv/courtiebee, and don't forget, you can also follow me on Twitter. I am @courtiebee there. Thanks again. Have a great day or night, whatever it is for you, and I will talk to you soon.